Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here, and today we're going to be looking at a unique question that deals with a changing population and making predictions with that population based on what you think will occur. With these types of questions, we're going to have a starting population, and this population is going to have some unique traits. In this case, we have yellow and blue frogs, and we have this population before a change in their environment occurs. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to predict how this population will change over many generations based on what happens in the environment. So, we're imagining that this first picture is the starting environment for our population, but it's going to change from this environment to this bottom picture that we see here. And your job is to predict which one of these predictions is best. In other words, which one's most likely to occur. Is it prediction one, where we have a bunch of yellow and blue frogs still? Or is it prediction two, where we have a small group of yellow and blue frogs and a larger group of red frogs? So, your job is going to be to predict which one of these do you think is best and why? So, let's look at some of our answers that we could choose from and decide which one is best overall. You could say that prediction number two here is the best. Two yellow or blue frogs had a baby with a mutation in its genes for the red skin trait. Because red frogs are more likely to survive, that baby survived long enough to pass down the mutation, so the red trait became more common over time. Maybe you think it's prediction two, but maybe you think it's for a different reason. Maybe you think red frogs are more likely to survive, so yellow and blue frogs began to have offspring with mutations in their genes for the red trait so that their offspring would have a better chance to survive. Or maybe you think it's option C. Prediction one is best. A frog, so in this case, this population, could have been born with a mutation in its gene for the red skin trait and lived for a little while. Because red frogs are more likely to die, it would have been more likely to die before it had offspring. So the final population is only yellow and blue frogs. So your job right now is to decide which prediction is best and which reason why is also best. At this point, we should hop into our question number three, and we should put our answer into here. Do you think it's A, B, or C? Okay, so take a second if you need to pause the video here to look at your options. And when you're ready, hit play once you have your answer typed in. Take a second, pause it now. All right. Do you think you got the right answer? If so, we're going to go over that, but make sure you come back and put whether you got the question right, wrong, but you understand how to fix it, or wrong and you don't understand quite the reason why. And if you obviously put your X here, make sure you check in with me. So, prediction number two is best. Two yellow or blue frogs had a baby with a mutation. That mutation was passed down, and then that mutation was able to survive in this new red environment. That is the best and correct answer in this case. Option B does have the best prediction, but the reasoning here isn't quite right. If we're looking at the reasoning here, it's saying that the red and blue frogs the yellow and blue frogs had the choice of their offspring having that mutation in gene. We know mutations are random and organisms do not have control over it, so that reasoning is wrong. And last but not least, prediction one isn't quite right because, well, our environment changed. If we have a red environment, those that are best suited are going to be red frogs, but obviously we need that mutation to occur for this population to be correct. So if we're looking at the answer here, this idea that the red frogs are going to die off just simply isn't true because they have the adaptive trait. So take a second, go in and put whether or not you got the question right, wrong, or you're not quite sure why you got it wrong. Check in if you have questions, and good luck with the rest of the review.